Good evening, everyone. May everyone please have their seat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good evening, and welcome to the 2024 Alumni Achievement Award Ceremony. My name is Paul Atala. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming through tonight. My name is Paul Atala, a two-time degree graduate of NJIT with a Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering and an Executive MBA. I'm also humbly your first Vice President of the Alumni Association. This ceremony is truly special because it's a representation of how NJIT alumni can push the frontiers of their respective fields to reach new heights. Dear awardees, we're here tonight to celebrate your accomplishments as one alumni body, bonded together through the institution that makes us one family, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Now, please let me introduce to you the Alumni Achievement Award Committee, who's in charge of the selection, vetting, and nomination for the awardees. This group is a great representation of the Alumni Association. Not only are they successful in their respective professions, but they're also involved with their committees, families, and of course, NJIT. They're members of the Board of Visitors, various university committees, the Greek community, and even at times called upon to assist in various projects around the university. And they are Alfred Martinez, 2010, 2015, and he's also in his first year as our president of the Alumni Association. Ray Casetta, 1970, School of Management Board of Visitors. Ray, where are you? Oh, I see you. There you go. Ray Vicari, member of the 1972, 1974, member of the Greek Alumni Board. Where are you, Ray? Bob Rossi and Anita Rubino. Bob Rossi, 1967, Anita, 1983, Anita is our committee chair. They're both unable to be with us this year. They're in Florida as doing damage control after both hurricanes, so we wish them all the best. We're praying for you both, so we can't wait to see you both soon. Please join me in thanking them collectively for their dedication to NJIT and especially their service to the awards committee. Thank you all. We are thrilled to continue the rich tradition of honoring our distinguished alumni and are happy to be doing so as part of the homecoming weekend celebration. And now, to get things started, I would like to introduce you to the president of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, Dr. Tek Lim. Dr. Lim began his tenure as president in July 2022 after serving as interim president of the University of Texas at Arlington. Please join me in welcome our president, Dr. Tek Lim.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. And thank you for coming back to visit your alma mater for this 2024 homecoming weekend. How many of you this is the first time you've been on campus this year? Some of you, more than I thought. All right, good. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. It is great to have you back on campus, rekindling old friendships and beginning new ones as you share your NJIT stories and experiences with one another. So tonight we gather here for the NJIT Alumni Achievement Awards. That's the theme, that we're working on tonight. And I would like to begin by congratulating the award winners, okay? And I'm going to try my best because of the diversity of NJIT. We have very diverse set of names that are challenging to pronounce sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to try my best. So I want to congratulate the winners of the Alumni Achievement Awards. First one is Kostub Joshi, class of 1997. Where is Kostub? Yes. Next one, and by the way, they'll get their spotlight later on, okay, when they come up and get their award. So don't think that that's all they get. Robert Kurjan. Robert, class of 95. Okay? Of course, Daryl Riley, class of 83. This person need no introduction because we just dedicated the Zampolin Hall after him. But Bob Zampolin, class of 81. Peng Zhao, class of 2013. And then Dr. Anmol Matal, class of 16 honors. Where is that? Oh. And Professor James Geiler, I don't think he's here today, the Robert Van Houten Award for Teaching Excellence. That's what he's receiving. So let's thank each one of them for their dedication to NJIT. Let's give them a round of applause again. So I would also like to, I did that, but I also like to thank our MC, okay, Paul Atala. Paul and I go way back, right, Paul? And members of the Alumni Awards Committee that Paul had eloquently listed for their contribution to this great evening. Without their hard work, their selection, this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you to Paul and the selection committee. This event recognizes alumni for their exceptional accomplishment in any field that bring honor to NJIT, The Alumni Achievement Award honor those whose professional and personal achievements stand as a testament to the values instilled upon them at NJIT. This year's awardees include pioneers in green technology, public health, architecture, and entrepreneurship, a wide variety of fields. Collectively, tonight's honorees demonstrate NJIT's dedication to driving progress across industries through innovation, community service, and thought leadership. Their contributions are felt locally and globally as they solve pressing challenges in environmental sustainability, public health, as well food safety, and technological advancement. What a wide range of area. So, I'm probably going to be standing between me and dinner, right? Well, I don't. Anyway. Got a bit of a program. Okay, before dinner. So, let's pace your dinner, all right? Please join me in a round of applause for all of our 2024 award winners, and thank you to all the alumni who created the foundation for NJIT success and continue to remain engaged with your alma mater. Remember, the 3 I's. We want you to be informed about NJIT, to be involved with NJIT, and to be invested in your time, talent, and treasure event for NJIT. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Dr. Lim. Once again, thank you for your support of the Alumni Association. I join you in welcoming the awardees, and actually, Mr. Riley, where are you, Mr. Riley? There you are. Yes. Absolutely. Wanted to thank you as well for you and your family to come through as well tonight. I join you in welcoming the awardees back to campus along with their families and friends, and all the board members, deans, faculty, staff, and fellow alumni. Families and friends, the awardees couldn't have made it without you here tonight. So I just wanted to make sure, and yes, I'm going off script. I have to, because if it's not for the support of our family and friends, the people that surround us, our backbone, we wouldn't be here, right? So I just want to give a special thank you to all the family and friends that are here. And we truly hope you join us for the rest of the homecoming weekend events. We have quite a schedule, so please take a look at the calendar. We'd love to see you at more events going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a rich tradition of the Alumni Association for many years to annually honor a select group of distinguished alumni and their achievement. It is a unique award that is The alumni are recognized by their fellow alumni. So the system is the fellow alumni, they actually recognize their fellow alumni, and which makes it organic, which makes it democratic, and it's a beautiful thing. For their achievements, for their activities, support to alma mater, NJIT, and their communities. It's a great honor to meet and work with such distinguished awardees, and who really give, that really gives a deep sense of pride in the university and their achievements. And now, I would like to ask Alfred Martinez to come to the podium to present the recipient of the Gen Next Award, which recognizes a more recent alum for their significant professional accomplishments in their field of endeavor. Alfred?
Good evening, everyone. By a quick show of hands, how many are believers in the Zodiac? All right, more than I expected. I myself am not a non-believer, but after a couple glasses of wine last night, I went on the interweb and I looked up Leo, which is what Anmol is. He is a Leo, and apparently, according to the interweb, those traits are loyal, giving, confident, hardworking. Giving and hardworking is what stuck out to me after getting to know, more familiar with Anmol's background, and I'm going to speak to that in a moment. There are many reasons as to why the Alumni Association of NJIT is presenting the Gen X Award to Anmol this evening. Anmol's collegiate journey started right here at NJIT. He graduated with a BA in biology from the Albert Dorman Honors College with a perfect GPA. And you know what? He didn't stop there. I can only venture that he enjoyed NJIT so much because he continues his education after graduation close to home, right across the street, literally. Anmol's appetite for education led him to earn a doctorate in medicine, an MBA, and he didn't stop there. He's currently pursuing a master's of public health degree and has ambition to seek further degrees after that. In addition to his academic career, Anmol is passionate about giving back to the community by volunteering, whether at Newark public schools, hospitals, and I can certainly appreciate this one as an EMS worker myself, as auxiliary police. Anmol has been volunteering his time as an EMT for the borough of Metuchen since 2013. And I understand he's a bit of a francophone as well. C'est avec grand plaisir que je vous présente Anmol Mithal. It is with great pleasure that I present Anmol Mithal.
Hello, everyone. So, congratulations to all the awardees that won today. I think that it's such a true privilege, and it was definitely a shock to me when I got that email saying that I won this award. I didn't expect it. I was pleasantly happy about it. To me, I think I have still quite a journey to go, but of the things that I've learned in all my past, I have 3 quotes that I'd like to share with you that have kept me going and guide me. The first one is, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible" by Walt Disney. I think, a lot of things that I do is always attaining what's next, what's something that someone told me can't be done. That becomes my next goal, to do that. Another one is Don't Ask Why, Ask Why Not by Robert Kennedy. One of the big things that I always do, and all my friends can attest to this, is I'll say, why not this? Why aren't we doing this? And I think becoming transformational, that's the key part of asking why not and breaking barriers, something that I learned at NJIT. And then finally, one of the quotes that really brings home to me is, it's never a working day if you do what you love, by Mark Twain. And so that to me is what keeps me going, whether it's those online classes now or all my work. I enjoy being in the hospital, I enjoy doing what I do, and I think that as long as everyone does that, they will never work a day in their life and will be happy. So good luck to everyone, and yeah.
So the next alumni award goes to Peng Zhao. He's a graduate of 2013 with a biomedical engineering degree. He's a founding partner and COO of Princeton New Energy, a company recognized as one of America's top green tech companies by Time Magazine. The company is at the forefront of New Jersey's clean tech innovation, particularly in the lithium-ion battery recycling and materials rejuvenation. Zhao led this clean tech company from its humble beginnings to its current state now, with offices in New Jersey, Texas, as well as another office that's currently being built in South Carolina. Peng has successfully raised over $56 million in private capital and grants from DOE, and under his leadership, the company has created partnerships with cell manufacturers and EV companies to strengthen the domestic battery material supply chain in the U.S. So I present Peng Zhao.
Good evening, everyone. It's an incredible honor to be here tonight and surrounded by so many brilliant minds and innovative leaders. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to NJIT, President Lim, and Alumni Award Committee for this prestigious recognition. So being part of the NJIT community actually has been one of the most rewarding experiences in my life. I'm deeply humble and thrilled to be here tonight. So actually, when I walk around in the campus this afternoon with my wife and my two kids here, a lot of this beautiful memory flashed into my mind from 13 years ago when I was pursuing a master's degree of biomedical engineering. So I saw the Oak Hall, Lauren Hall. Actually, that's a place where I used to work there as a desk attendant, if you know desk attendant. So for 1.5 years, I believe. So day shift and night shift, if you lock your door, and if you are looking for a good ping pong ball, maybe no one knows better than me where to find the ping pong ball. And I also see the Central King building. Actually, reminded me I was the BME department representatives, helped the Professor Max Roman, Professor Alex Lee to organizing the seminar and exchange the brilliant idea with the professor and the student at that time. So NJIT has been a cornerstone of my journey, bring not just only the tool or knowledge, but also teach me how to push upper limits, think beyond the conventional, And the most important thing, NJIT platform helped me to find a job opportunity. So I got my internship from NJIT job fair in 2012. I still remember that's in the older stadium. I see today's stadium. It's totally different. So that's 12 years ago. And in the stadium, hundreds of companies and many, many students joined the job fair. I was a lucky one. I got an offer from Panasonic. And after graduating, I stayed in Panasonic North America for another 9 years and start in charge of the technology commercialization and overseas business operation. So as an international student, if navigating CPT, OPT, visa sponsorship, it was not easy. I'm truly grateful for the NJIT International Student Office and also Korean office gave me the tremendous support at that time. I truly appreciate for that. So after Panasonic, I decided, okay, let's do something, start a company, entrepreneurship adventure. I call it adventure. So as a founding partner and the COO, I work with another NJIT alumni, Dr. Chao Yan. We used to live in the Oak Hall in different floor. We spend countless hours in Oak Hall library dreaming is what could be different? What's the innovation? At that time, we just keep brainstorming. And today, we are running this battery recycling company. If you have a Tesla or use the iPad, iPhone, give it to me. Right? I will help you to recycle the battery. So we are commercializing this cutting-edge technology to reduce 40% battery material cost, reduce 70% CO2 emission for the society. So we try to help our customer, auto OEM, build this domestic circular economy. As you know, a lot of critical minerals, we heavily rely on the overseas market import. So we try to do this closed-loop business. So NJIT not just give me knowledge, Panasonic internship, in-campus working experience, but also give me very good business partner for a lifetime. So in the battery world, there has a terminology, it's called closed loop for sustainability, or sustainable closed loop. So I believe the NJIT and our alumni network also need to build this closed loop. We are committed to giving back to the campus. And just last month, September 25th, and our HR department also participated the NJIT job fair, and appreciate President Lim and Patrick also stopped by our booth, encourage the students and our employee. So when I initially have this internship opportunity in NJIT, I clearly understand how important this platform is. How important, if you have a company support, give you opportunity. So we are very excited to create a more co-op seminar, lecture, or internship opportunity for our new generation of the student. We need to build a closed loop for sustainability. Last, thanks again for NJIT for this incredible honor. I think let's stay connected with Alumni Network. Let's continue support NJIT just as it has supported all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ray Casetta.
Okay. When the president spoke, when the other president spoke, I heard a couple of interesting words. Leo, I am one. Diversity. Wait till you hear the rest of the diversity for tonight with the awardees. And achievement. And boy, do we have some big achievers here tonight in the audience. But first I get to introduce Kaustubh Joshi. Kaustubh is a 1997 graduate from the engineering, with a degree from NCE in engineering science. He proceeded to go from here a little farther up the hill to the University of Medicine and Dentistry, and why was he accepted there? Because he graduated with his engineering science degree, cum laude. He went up there on an Air Force scholarship to study psychiatry. He graduated from there, went to Texas to do his residency in San Antonio, completed that in 2004. In 2005, he did a fellowship at the University of South Carolina at the School of Medicine there. And he's now board certified. He's now certified by the American Board of Psychiatric and Neurological in both general and forensic psychiatry. Now, after he completed his residency and all of that and really became a doctor, he had a commitment to the Air Force because of the scholarship. He was on active duty. He deployed to Iraq as part of the Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was selected, for those of you that may remember this event, he was selected as part of a tri-service mental health team to evaluate the Army major who shot a lot of other soldiers at Fort Hood in Texas. He was part of that's how well established he was. He was already finished the Air Force. He was called in to evaluate that major who became a shooter. 13 dead and 32 injured. He did a couple of things while he was in. He earned the Air Force Meritorious Service Medal and 1 U.S. Army Commendation Medal. I'm also a veteran. They don't hand out those medals easy. You have to be really good and do something really good to get either of those 2 medals. He got both. He went on from there, finished the service. He worked at a place called Kerrville State Hospital in Texas, treating patients with severe and persistent mental illness who were adjudged either not competent to stand trial or not guilty because of insanity. So that's where he spent his engineering science degree career. He now teaches medical trainees, medical students, general psychiatric residents, forensic psychiatric fellows, and provides mental health and treatment for inmates incarcerated in the South Carolina State Prison. And he conducts criminal and civilian forensic psychiatric evaluations. He's received a whole bunch of awards. He's received the American Psychiatric Association Award. He's received the Irma Bland Award for Excellence in Teaching Residents and the American Academy of Psychiatry and Law, which is the nation's largest forensic psychiatry organization. And he's also received the Best Teacher in Forensic Fellowship at University of South Carolina Medical School. And you ought to see his vitae. He's published all over the place. And now he served on or chaired committees at the University of South Carolina as the American Psychiatric Association and the American Psychiatric and Law Association for his career achievements. So with that, I give you Kaustubh Kostub Joshi. Over here. Congratulations. It's all yours.
Oh, okay.
Oh, give me the word first. Yes, that's what I had to check that. Gave you the right name.
Thank you, Mr. Cassetter, for that introduction. I was told that I can get up to 5 minutes, and by golly, I'm going to use all those 5 minutes. Thank you. I haven't been on this campus in 24 years. So thank you to the NJIT Alumni Office. I'm honored to be one of the recipients of the 2024 Alumni Achievement Award. I stand before you tonight with humility and gratitude. Although I'm proud to receive this award, I'm even prouder to be an NJIT alumnus. Congratulations to all the awardees. You have excelled in your respective fields and left a lasting legacy that has positively impacted many individuals and, more importantly, our society. Before I continue, I want to thank my mother, Alka Joshi, and my brother, Harsha Joshi, who are not able to travel here tonight because my mom lives in Texas and my brother lives in Arizona. I also want to thank my father, Girish Joshi, who is not with us anymore. He passed away too soon. Without them, there is no doubt that I would not be where I am today in my life. I also want to thank the many friends in Texas and South Carolina who also played significant roles in my life to get me to where I'm at today. Going through middle school and high school, I knew I wanted to be a physician. NJIT, in conjunction with what is now known as Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School right up the hill, had a 7-year combined undergrad med school program, 3 years at NJIT, 4 years at medical school. After interviewing here, I knew that I wanted to come here, even though I knew I'd be far away from my home in Texas. I am still in awe that I was accepted to this program, given the large quantity of high-caliber candidates and the limited number of those type of programs that was available in the United States at that time. I thought NJIT would be a stepping stone on the way to being a physician. I would graduate from NJIT and not look back. I usually do not like to admit that I'm wrong, but in this case, I could not be happier that I was wrong. My NJIT education gave me the tools needed to begin my medical career at a very high level and succeed for the rest of my life. While on this campus, I also met the U.S. Air Force recruiter, and my subsequent military service further enhanced my medical career. I had no idea that NJIT would leave an internal impact on my life. And not only did I get what I was looking for, I got a heck of a lot more, an NJIT family. I came to NJIT by myself in 1993. I did not know a soul. After a few days on campus, I started to make friends. There were friends who came and went, but there were those whose bonds of friendship evolved into more emotional bonds that formed the basis for a family. And that family is here tonight, both in person and in spirit. No one succeeds alone in life, much less traverses his obstacles alone. Whether it was midnight trips to Taco Bell, taking table tennis breaks, or in engaging in egregious acts of buffoonery, the family bonds developed during these and other activities helped me tremendously through a challenging educational journey and not feeling alone while completing it. So thank you, Neha, Ashish, Neela, Viral, Sejal, Jay, and Abdul for everything you have done in my life to get me to this point. I would also like to thank the many other NJIT family members who were not able to come here tonight, but who were there for me. And I'd be remiss in not also thanking Kashyap Mehta, who was the first person I met at NJIT and who became a brother to me. He is sadly not with us because God called him home too soon. Having a family means that I can ask for forgiveness. So I asked my family to forgive me for not coming back to New Jersey as often as I should have during these last 24 years. I don't view this honor as a culmination of my role in medicine, but rather of a continuation of a journey I started a long time ago. Thank you again, NJIT, for this prestigious honor, and everyone, please have a good night.
Now I have another top-flight person to introduce. Bob Zambolin, class of '81. He's remained around the campus in his 40-plus years. He's now the founder and principal architect of Zambolin and Associates Architect. It's a renowned architectural firm based here in New Jersey, but licensed in 15 other states. He's built a reputation for excellence in custom residential and commercial design. His firm portfolio includes a diverse range of projects from single-family homes, multifamily dwellings, office buildings, warehouses, mixed-use facilities. He's designed the most of it that's out there. He also designed, and this isn't part of the script, he also designed a house for a poor family that made the television. And that required planning and developing so that the construction of this place and the awarding to this poor family could be accomplished in a week. That's what his architectural firm has accomplished, among many other things. But I found that most interesting. He's received many accolades and prestigious awards from the New Jersey Builders Association for his designs. He's been written up in Forbes magazine and in the New York Times. The articles highlighted his impact on what's called the architectural landscape here in the greater New York area. His designs have been featured, I said that, in the publications. Beyond his professional achievements, he's given back to the university. Bob has remained dedicated to and given back to his alma mater and its next generation of graduates from the School of Architecture and Design. He has served as committee chair for the Design Showcase, and that's something that they have where the students present their work. And if any of you have never been to this Design Showcase, you should really come back. It's a worthwhile afternoon to be here and see the students display their work, and he's the sponsor of it. And he's been the sponsor for over 20 years. He also gives a scholarship, and his scholarship recipient is also given an internship at his architectural firm. So with that, I give you Bob Zambolin. Bob.
So much for it. Here we go. Well, good evening, everyone. Just hearing your resume broadcast over a microphone over the years of work that you do is kind of a humbling experience. I obviously love what I do, and I can't thank the Alumni Association for giving me this great honor. In preparing for tonight, and Dr. Lynn talked about all the years of the graduates. I'm graduated in year 81, so I know I'm the oldest guy that's going to be standing on this podium right now. So, and then as everyone knows, architecture is a 5-year program. So I was reflecting on the evening tonight. And so I actually started in '76, and I know the Golden Highlanders will say I'm cheating, but when thinking about it, I said, I came here almost 50 years or so ago, and the building that we're in didn't even exist back then. The campus from 1976 was, you wouldn't even recognize the campus the way it is today. It's such a wonderful grouping of new modern buildings, all the achievements and accolades that all the different schools have achieved is overwhelming. And I found out from Gabrielle, the dean, that the School of Architecture is actually one of the 5th largest schools of architecture in the nation. which, when you think about it, I always think NJIT is just like a small, nice school with a great reputation. I never knew it was number 5 in terms of its population, in terms of the School of Architecture, at least. So it's, when I went here in '76, it was predominantly an engineering school. I think NJIT was just a brand new name. It was called, obviously, Newark College of Engineering, as everybody's heard. And it was primarily an engineering school. So maybe at the time, it had 3,000 or 4,000 engineering students, both daytime and nighttime. And it was a commuter school. There were no dormitories. And at best, my class, I think, was either the 2nd or 3rd year class to be the new program of architecture. So at best, there was 200 architecture students. So the engineers at that time, it was pretty much pre-computers. Had these ginormous attaché cases to carry all their voluminous books. There were pocket protectors. They usually were very well groomed, or certainly more well groomed than the architecture students who really, we had ridiculous hours because everything was just hand drawing back then, and I'm still the hand drawing guy at the office. And so, it just these crazy hours that we all kept. So we did not look well groomed. But it was a lot of fun, and the 5 years flew by, and I just can't thank NJIT for the opportunity. So just thinking about the honor that you guys were giving me tonight, and again, I really appreciate it. It's wonderful, but I really do want to just say thank you to NJIT and all the teachers and professors that really just taught me so much and gave like an 18-year-old kid that came from a tough family situation, because 5 years earlier we lost my dad from cancer. So it was a tough situation for my family. We were all pulling together. Money was tough and tight, and they accepted me, and I just wanted to make sure that I worked really hard not to let my mother down and just make sure I was a success. And it all worked out. And with that, I reconnected with the university maybe 20 plus years ago, and everybody was so welcoming and wonderful that I just said, this is the right thing to do. And we just stayed connected after that one meeting with a fellow named Jim Wellen and Dean Erst and Glenn Goldman and the other people that I met with, John Kays, and they're just all wonderful people. But, Dr. Lin talked about the treasures. What I'm most proud of is NJIT. My 3 children, my 2 sons and my daughter, all received degrees from NJIT. So my 2 sons, Anthony and Michael, are here with their fiancées, Stephanie and Marissa. They're both successful architects now. They're in the firm. I'm sure I drive them nuts. They drive me nuts, but it's a loving relationship. They're great at technology. I still draw by hand, so it's you can figure it out in terms of how things go at the office. And then my daughter, Nicole, graduated with an interior design degree, and she's here with her wife, Lindsay, and she's just killing it in New York City. She's doing wonderful. We're so proud of her. It's just fantastic. And, obviously, most importantly, and Dr. Lin's wife hit the nail on the head, we couldn't have done it without my wife, who is really 90% of everything, obviously, because she's the driving force that made sure the kids were always on time, checked up on them. We would come down many times, see them, have dinner at Forno's afterwards, make sure everybody was on the straight and narrow, and just kept the whole family going. So, again, thank you so much for this great honor. Really totally surprising. We're blessed at what we do, and we love what we do, and it's great being able to give back and help kids that were, need some help like I needed help back then. So thank you.
Congratulations. And you're not the oldest man to take this stage.
No, I know. Well, no, I know that, the Golden Highlander.
I graduated before he was born.
No, the recipients.
Congratulations again. We're also pleased to present the Robert Fountain Houghton Robert Van Houten Award for Teaching Excellence this year. This award recognizes an outstanding tenured faculty member chosen by alumni from the last 5 graduating classes. It is based on current teaching excellence and a success in leading students to knowledge and understanding. And now I invite Ray Vakari to introduce this year's recipient.
So for years, I've been serving on this committee, Alumni Awards Committee. It's been fantastic. You know, you get to see all these wonderful alumni, all their accomplishments to industry, to the community, to NJIT. It's so wonderful. And I always thought that someday maybe I could get that award, you know? And then I was told, well, you're on the committee, you can't, that's what they told me anyway. Then I thought maybe I'm an adjunct professor here. I could win the Robert Van Houten Excellence in Teaching Award because I always get high ratings from my students. And then I find out you have to be a tenured professor. So 0 for 2. But anyway, I'm very pleased to talk about this award and talk about this recipient, James Geller. He couldn't be here tonight, so there's a video acceptance award. I think it's about 25, 30 minutes long, but bear with it. He's a professor and chair of the Data Science Department at New Jersey Institute of Technology. Received his PhD from the State University of New York at Buffalo in 1988 in computer science with a focus on artificial intelligence and knowledge representation. I didn't even know they knew about artificial intelligence back then. But anyway, he co-founded the Structural Analysis of Bioanalytical Ontologies Center at the Department of Computer Science. Anybody here know what, well, there must be somebody who knows what ontology is. So I decided to Google it. What is ontology? Very interesting. It's, at its simplest, it's a study of existence, okay? To make it a little more concrete, one could also say ontology is a study of what exists or what is real. Does God exist? Are my feelings real? What is nothing? And does it exist? Those are examples of ontology questions. And it's very interesting that he focused on that area because tonight we have a mentalist, Matt Cooper. Have any of you been exposed to what he's been doing? It's been unbelievable. Stick around because I think after the dinner he's going to make it's just unbelievable. I don't know how he does it. Anyway, back to James Geller. He was the co-principal investigator of several federal grants from the NIH, the National Institute of Health, totaling over $2.5 million. He was co-PI. PI is principal investigator on an NSF grant. NSF is the National Science Foundation on increasing urban youth participation in computing through mentorship and coding resources. I think it's great that he helps. I mean, this is a teacher. He focuses on the youth, which is great. He also is actively involved in bringing women and minorities into the computing field. He received the NJIT Master Teacher designation in 2005 and 3 other NJIT Teaching Awards in 2002, 2003, and 2011. He received an NJIT College Research Award and then in September 2010, he received the NJIT Constant Mary Award for Advancing Diversity. So let us congratulate James Geller.
Good evening. My name is James Geller, and I'm sorry that I cannot be with you today, but I want to tell you that today is the greatest day in my whole 36-year career. It's not that I never got an award before, but for every other award, I had to collect the dossier, I had to get people to write me recommendation letters, and then I was waiting, and sometimes I got the award and sometimes I didn't. This time, out of a blue sky, I got an email message, you got the Alumni Award. And that's unbelievable, and I don't know who I owe this to, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. You made me very happy. And most certainly, You made everything I've done for the last 36 years worthwhile, and I'm very happy that I had a good influence on some people's lives, but I wasn't sure. And now that I got this award, now I'm sure that I had a good influence. So thank you again and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Okay, so accepting an award in his place is Dean Payton, the Dean of the Youngwoo College of Computing Sciences. FYI, while we're waiting, in 2017 or 18, I think it was, the Youngwoo College of Computing Sciences at NJIT was rated number 2 of all colleges and universities in the world. We were the only American university listed in the top 10. I think that's fantastic. And I'm sure they've continued that recognition. I have the honor of introducing to you Robert Kirkjian. He graduated in 1995. He devoted his career to reducing environmental risks in public health and protecting the environment. I mean, this is something we could always relate to. Again, this is the type of person that I love to talk to meet, and to know that he represents NJIT. That it's fantastic. He's worked on thousands of projects evaluating water resources, something we need to do, conducting environmental investigations, remediating soil and groundwater, assessing air quality, and managing solid and hazardous wastes. He was also, you've heard of Doctors Without Borders. He was involved with Chemistry Without Borders. Apparently, I don't know where, maybe he'll tell you, but arsenic in water, can you imagine that in these third world countries? Being able to clean up the water, that's fantastic. He's run many environmental projects in Asia, Africa, South America, and the former Soviet Union. He grew up in Baskin Ridge, New Jersey, by the way, and I think he got his undergraduate degree in the University of Arizona, got his master's in environmental science at NJIT, and then got his PhD in environmental geochemistry from the University of California. He's a program manager and principal scientist for Tetra Tech, based in Pasadena, California, and he frequently lectures on water and environmental issues in the United States. And his son is here, following up on his father's legacy. His son is here for 2 weeks. He's cleaning up the Passaic River, so thank you very much. So, Robert Kirkjian. Thank you. Oh.
Good evening, NJIT family. Go Highlanders. I flew in from Los Angeles last night, and this is the first time I've been on campus in about 30 years. And I have to say, it feels great. I feel great to be back, so thank you. As mentioned, I actually grew up in New Jersey, and then I went out to college in the West. And I studied chemistry because back in the early 80s when I went there was no such thing as environmental programs. So I ended up studying chemistry. And once I graduated, I came back to New Jersey. I got my first environmental engineering consulting job. And then I discovered the master's degree in environmental science from NJIT. And for me, this was fantastic. I completed my degree at night. And it was really facilitated by the flexible program and the very accommodating professors. So for me, it was a great experience, it was a great education, and it was a turning point in my career. Not only a turning point, but my career took off after that. Then, a couple years later, I received my PhD from the University of California. And for the next 30 years, I worked on thousands of environmental programs all across the country and all across the world. I worked in Armenia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and I worked on a lot of different programs. I worked on providing safe drinking water, environmental restoration, managing hazardous waste. A lot of countries don't have regulations to classify hazardous waste, to manage it, to dispose of it, so it's very important. Also, and of course, reducing risks to public health. And the more I worked overseas, the more I got inspired, and the more I did. And I actually got inspired with the thousands of people I met along the way. And I like to think, in some small way, I made a difference in their lives and made their lives a little bit better. So I am truly honored to receive the Alumni Achievement Award tonight. And I hope that I can continue my work for another 30 years and respectfully, properly, and honorably continue to represent the NJIT family. Thank you.
I got you. Congratulations again. Quite a resume for everyone. Oof. Got to work a little harder. All right. Now, it's quite a bit that you heard, right? But I want to introduce. I want to have the honor to introduce the last, but certainly not least, the award recipient, Mr. Darrell Riley, an NJIT alumnus with a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, class of 1983. Mr. Riley has been a notable leader in consumer packaged goods industry for over 30 years, working globally across several continents, building teams, people, and their leadership, empowering them for sustainable growth. Innovative products development, best-in-class food safety, superior quality, and integrating business initiatives to manage climate change as well. He's had a distinguished career, recently retiring as Chief Sustainability Officer at Hostess brand, where he expanded the company's capabilities to develop and execute strategies that drove its environmental, social, and governance objectives and initiatives. Prior to joining Hostess, Mr. Riley held positions of increasing responsibility at major food companies. He launched his career at Kraft Heinz from 1987 to 2004, during which he spent the bulk of his time in domestic roles as well as international. From 2004 to 2013, he served as VP of Research, Quality, and Technology at Kellogg Company. Darrell then returned to Kraft Heinz from 2013 to 2015 as VP of R&D, Quality, and Innovation. A lot of work goes behind the food that you eat, your breakfast cereal. He later joined Hostess in 2016 as Senior Vice President of Quality, Food Safety, and R&D, and later served in 2022 as Chief Sustainability Officer on the executive leadership level. Darrell is currently the President of Total Quality and Sustainability Management, LLC, that supports small and medium-sized ingredients and food companies in the areas of food safety and sustainability. He also serves on the Institute of Food Technologists Board of Directors, and is also a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha Alumni Chapter. Darrell recently endowed the Janet McIntosh Riley Scholarship at NJIT. Thank you, Darrell. The scholarship is named after Darrell's late mother, Janet Riley, who worked at NJIT as an administrative assistant, initially in the School of Architecture, we stand. And then in the Mechanical Industrial Engineering Department, she was a Panamanian immigrant to the United States and became a magnet and an inspiration to students from Central America, Asia, as well as local Black and Latino students. The Janet McIntosh Riley Scholarship will further contribute towards inclusivity and academic empowerment at NJIT. Reflecting on institutions' dedications to providing opportunities for all students to thrive in their educational journey. The scholarship was originally established as an annual scholarship in 2007, funded by gifts made by Daryl and his wife, Katrin, each year. It will be awarded for the first time as an endowed scholarship in fall of 2024. Here we are. And actually, I think we have two of the student recipients here tonight. Where are you? Daryl Riley is a professional leadership, in his professional leadership and admirable service to NJIT, the community is indeed worthy of recognition as an outstanding NJIT alumnus. Mr. Riley, I invite you to the stage to please accept the award. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I guess as he was reading all of that, what it really meant is I wasn't able to keep a job anywhere, so they kept on moving me to different places. I'd like to first start off by thanking the Alumni Association for this recognition, particularly upon the criteria of one of the aspects, which is, do you bring pride to your alma mater? And really, that's one of the things that really gives me a lot of joy, is to say I'm a graduate of NJIT. So I've enjoyed working 40 years in the industry. In fact, the beauty of it is I graduated in '83. I know you're in front of me, '81. And I retired in 2023. So I tell people I worked for 40 years and 1 week. And that 1 week made a huge difference in my career. So I enjoy speaking at professional events to both students, faculty members, etc. And one of the things that I really appreciate about NJIT was the one thing that I think it taught me, which is to have a curious mind. A curious mind is really a lot of things to a lot of different people. For me, it's, and I think Anmol's mentioned it, it's about asking the question why, and sometimes why not. And if you are with students, it's one of the things that really sparks a conversation as you speak to them about why they want to do things. So for me, that's something that both involves learning and questioning, and also building sort of that skill set over time. I'm a young man from the local area as well. I grew up in East Orange, and I attended what was then Seton Hall Prep, which was actually a fun place because when I went to school, it was on the campus of Seton Hall University. So you can imagine a 14-year-old on the campus of a university. It was pretty fun until they told us that we can only stay in 2 buildings. Which wasn't no more fun anymore. But the reason why I went there and I didn't go to East Orange High School, it was around my parents. And my parents at the time wanted to ensure that my focus was around education and learning at the same pace and with the same folks that I would ultimately be working my entire career with. And so that was one of the goals of what they wanted to do for me. Entering an NJIT was actually a great indoctrination because it really taught me 3 things. One was around hard work, the other one was around dedication, and the other one was around determination. And the funny part is, as I stand in this room here, I remember coming to NJIT, which was then North College of Engineering, when I was a sophomore in high school, and being in this building, although this room wasn't here at the time, but this was sort of the School of Architecture, and I would spend some time in this building. But when I entered, I wanted to be a chemical engineer. At the time, one of the teachers that I had in high school said, you know, you're pretty good in chemistry and you're pretty good in math. You should consider chemical engineering. And so I decided I'd become a chemical engineer. Again, the question of why, it was the excitement of what that potential could afford me. The other beauty is when I first got here, most of the chemical engineers that I ultimately met were going to work in the oil or petroleum industry. And at that time, the U.S. as well as the Shah of Iran, there was a lot of activity where a lot of the U.S. companies were starting to build a lot of refineries, and they really came to NJIT because we had some of the best graduates in the industry, and they wanted to make sure that they were here. Those graduates were getting 3 to 4 offers upon graduation, so I was like, one, I'm in the right school, and I'm in the right major, so I was feeling really good at the time. 5 years later, that situation changed. The oil industry had completely tanked, and there weren't many jobs available. And in fact, I tell my children, after I got my degree, I spent my first job working at a rental car company. I worked at a department store, and I worked at a water company. And that sort of shows that I wanted to work. There were a lot of people. You would go to the interviews, and all your classmates would be there, and ultimately somebody would get a job. But later that year, I got my first job at a company called Roman Haas Specialty Chemical Company. And the beauty of it was I got a chance to work in engineering, and specifically in chemical engineering. I worked with distillation columns. I worked with constant turd reactors. I worked with designing process controls. I worked with designing equipment, and I was really like a kid in a candy factory. What I would talk to my colleagues, one of the things which was interesting, people would graduate, but they would go into a completely different field. I had the benefit of working in what I studied, and so I always say NJIT prepared me extremely well. And the faculty and what the course curriculum here offered at the time is something that we should all to be very proud of. Afterwards, you know, I left that industry primarily because I was a little nervous around working with some of the chemicals at the time. They would go on the Superfunds list, and they'd come off the Superfunds list. And at the time, I was sort of a younger guy, and I hadn't started a family. And I was like, I don't want to have kids that glow. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do next. Well, fortunately, at the time, Maxwell House Coffee Company, which was based here in Hoboken, were also looking for engineers. And so I transferred to Maxwell House Coffee Company, and instead of working on something easy, I worked on supercritical CO2 extraction, which is actually more dangerous than the other stuff that I was working on. So, hey, sometimes life throws you a curveball. But anyway, that started my journey in what was then coffee, which ultimately went into food. And I spent sort of the next 35 years doing that, primarily with 3 different companies. First being Kraft Foods, the second being Kellogg Company, and the third being Hostess Brands. And when you start working, you start to get increased responsibility. I had the very fortunate opportunity with Kraft Foods to work across the globe. So I worked in Japan for a couple of years. I worked in Europe, and I met my wife in Europe. I worked in Germany, northern Germany, for about 3.5 years. I then transferred. We went to England for a couple of years, and then we went back to Germany for 4 years in Munich. All the while, you're building your career. You're thinking through all the things that you were taught here at NJIT and elsewhere, and you're continuing to build your career. And so I was just doing that, and more things happen over time. I always tell people there are sort of 3 milestones that I had in my career. The first milestone was when I went to Japan. And remember, I'm a tough kid from East Orange, so you really can't tell me a lot. But Japan brought humility to me. I didn't work in Tokyo. I worked in a place called Suzuka, Japan, which was actually out in the countryside. And so you can imagine a black guy in Japan in 1989. They had never seen people, and cars would chase you down the street. I had to teach people how to cut my hair. Believe it or not, I did have hair at the time. And the kids would run into the barber shop and grab the hair, and I'm sure they would sell it to somebody, but it was actually a fun period of time in my life. But the humility was important because I had to listen, I had to determine how to work together with others, and I had to not be the brash New York, New Jersey person that I was. And that benefited me always in my life, just that humility. The second time was I then transferred to Munich at one point, and I was working as what we call the strategic planning manager. A strategic planning manager basically wrote operating plans and financial plans for the company, and you work together with the senior vice president. What it was a weird, tough job, because nothing you did was right, and you would always have to do things over and over again. Well, one of the things that the benefit was that you got a chance to meet and work together with the CEO of the company. You got a chance to see how business operates, why budgets are put together, why people are planning. And so that part to me was, I say, it's business acumen. It helped to expand my knowledge of business acumen. That's number two. The third one was probably the one that was the most nerve-wracking. I was the global quality and food safety lead for a company. I won't mention their name, but I sort of told you a couple of the three before. But we were involved with a major food recall. And in fact, it's the largest recall in the U.S. history. It was called the Peanut Corporation of America back in 2009. But for me, in order to move forward, I had to reorientate the company, all of the quality programs and policies and procedures. But that was the easy part. The tough part is we were called to testify in front of Congress. And so I had to testify in front of the congressional pages of the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee. And that one was probably the one that was the most nerve-wracking, because the congressional pages sort of ask you anything and everything, and sort of made you look like you weren't really smart. But again, what it taught me was being ethical, because what you do is when you work in industry, you find out not everybody has the high ethics and morals of what you do. And so those were sort of the three. So humility, business acumen, and then looking at the last one, which was ethics. So my career comprised those companies. For me, I enjoy learning, leading, coaching, mentoring, and growing people while delivering results. I would say I owe a lot of my determination to my mother and father. In fact, as they said, my mother was an immigrant from Colón, Panama, and one of the things that I remember distinctively is that she would always invite the students here that were from Asia or were from the Spanish countries or anywhere to home for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, because they were alone and they got a chance to have a great meal, and they would tell some stories about their livelihood, and it gave us just a unique opportunity to learn that we all aren't as fortunate, and other people really work hard to be here at NJIT. Lastly, I would say I owe my ability to focus to my wife, Katrin, who really nurtured our family and our three daughters while I was always away traveling somewhere with my career. And she has done an amazing job. Later in December, we'll be heading to Belgium. Our oldest daughter will be defending her PhD thesis at a school called Katholische Leuven in Belgium. Our second daughter works at ConAgra in Chicago in e-commerce as an analyst. And our third daughter is at the school that Dr. Lim knows, which is University of Michigan Dental School, and she's in her second year there. So again, I want to thank my fellow recipients of this award. I want to thank the Alumni Association for this recognition and offer a real congrats to this student population at NJIT. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the awardees, and thank you, Darrell, for those remarks. Really beautiful. As we wrap up this evening, I would like to thank everyone attending, especially our 2024 awardees and their families and friends, colleagues. I would also like to thank all of those on campus and off campus who made this program and this ceremony possible, especially Rebecca Trump, thank you, and the Office of the Development and Alumni Relations. Thank you all. Additionally, thank you to all those who helped with tonight's ceremony, our staff, wait staff, and media production. Thank you. Now, dinner is served, so please enjoy your dinner, and we'll be back shortly with something very special and a nice special surprise planned for this evening to wrap up the evening. Enjoy your dinner.